The conversation surrounding artificial intelligence is certainly evolving and rapidly changing minute by minute. Its most dramatic impact has happened in entrepreneurship. It's rapidly changing the way businesses create, distribute, and consume content for marketing campaigns, customer communications, research, reporting, and creative storytelling. Tools such as ChatGPT are changing the way that organizations operate, communicate, and compete in a rapidly changing and increasingly digital world. In this episode, I have the distinct privilege of sitting down with my friend Edward M. Pereira. He's the CEO and founder of Financial Intelligence for You, to explore the growing impact of AI on content creation and business productivity. As an accomplished financial and operational leader, Edward has built a career around driving organizational growth by creating systems, implementing strategic transformation, and helping individuals and businesses make smarter decisions through education and innovation. In this conversation, I'm also joined by Attila Hevesy. He's the co-chief executive officer for Financial Intelligence for You, and for more than 20 years, he's been helping people reposition their thinking behind the concept of cash is king and making sure that they realize that cash flow is where it's at. And now he's focused on helping individuals discover and take advantage of alternative investment strategies, which the masses don't even know exist yet. Financial Intelligence for You was founded upon one simple but profound question. You've worked hard for your money your whole life. Has your money worked hard for you? Combining financial education and practical intelligence, Edward and his team help people improve their financial literacy and developed customized strategies to pursue their goals. Throughout our conversation, we discuss how AI tools such as ChatGPT are changing the way we produce content, communicate with others, improving efficiency, and creating a new vehicle and vertical for entrepreneurs, marketers, educators, and business leaders to increase their impact in a shorter amount of time. We also examine the challenges that are associated with AI adoption, including maintaining authenticity, ensuring accuracy, and balancing both automation and human creativity. Additionally, we explore the evolving relationship between finance and technology, including the rise of digital assets such as cryptocurrency. And Pereira and Hevesy join me this week to tell me more. I'm Kevin McShann. Let's have this conversation. Gentlemen, if you're ready, I'll take a moment to welcome you both to the program, and I'm super excited to learn how you make a difference in the world of finance, cryptocurrency, and everything in between. It's great to see you both on this Friday, and I'll wish you a good Friday, and I'm ready to have a great conversation. It's great to see both of you this morning.
Thank you, Kevin. It's great to see you too. Much appreciate the opportunity to be able to share the value with you with your great audience. I'm sorry, my name's Edward Pereira. Attila Hevesy is my very good friend and business partner, and away we go.
Yeah, absolutely. So I want to start our conversation by asking you about financial intelligence for you, how helping bridge traditional finance with cryptocurrency and Delphi, my friend. What inspired you both to come up with this concept, and tell me about your mission, my friends?
So I'll start by it was not an accident, but it was not on purpose. So I've got a little bit of a superpower. I spent 3+ decades working for and with the federal government. So I was exposed to a lot of information that a lot of people don't know about finance and generally how the system, quite frankly, works against you, right? From the educational system all the way up, you're taught to get an education, go to school, get a job, and trade time for money. That's all it teaches you. It teaches you how to be an employee, not a successful business person, right? You have an advanced degree. Was there any time where they taught you step by step of how to come out and be successful in business and how to earn a living and contribute to society? The general answer is no. So I took what I learned about the inside of the system, which was to keep you uneducated and, quite frankly, poor. And it came out of my service, and I looked at the opportunity to educate people on that piece. And then it came together when my wife introduced me to Attila, and he's got a great, he can certainly talk about his vast knowledge and background in finance. And then we got to talking, and we put it together and went, wait a second, we can go out and educate people about the fact that the game is rigged against them and help them understand what they don't know that they don't know. And once they have that understanding and they go, oh, so the great light bulb goes off. And then what do? If you teach people that they have been misled, to say the least, what do you do with them after that? So the transition, I like to explain what we do is we educate people of what they don't know that they don't know in the traditional debt-based finance system. And then once they understand that and they understand that the game's rigged against them, like when you walk into a casino, the casinos are not charity organizations. They're there to take your money because they make the odds in their favor. And once you understand that, then where do you go? Right? In the world of digital finance, and if people, you say crypto, Bitcoin, and 5 years ago, people thought you were either a nefarious actor or a money launderer, right? And that's not the case. What is happening under our nose right now, it's not a matter of if it's happening or will it happen. It's happening where the world is turning digital, and people need to know about it. The great transfer, as I know you'll talk about our book a little bit, is the greatest wealth transfer in history. And 95% of the people out there don't know about it. So we put it all together, made a business out of it, and we have been extraordinarily successful in serving people at the highest level in the most disruptive and important thing in their life, their money.
Yeah, absolutely. And Artilla, the next question goes to you, my friend. I'm curious to learn about your extensive background in finance and how you help people build wealth, clarity, and confidence in their financial decisions, my friend, using cryptocurrency and the importance of education throughout the entire process. What do you want people to know?
Okay, great question, Kevin. Thank you so much for having us today. Yeah, my background is all financial. Back when I first got to Florida in the 80s, I actually was a financial planner with a company most people know because they advertise a lot, Mass Mutual. Okay. And but that wasn't for me. After 5 years, I left and I went on my own and basically helped raise money for various ventures, mining projects and hedge funds, et cetera. But fast forward to September of 2020, I made a conscious decision because I realized that I totally missed the internet revolution. I saw that the train has left the station with this quote unquote digital money revelation, which encompasses, Kevin, the blockchain, decentralized finance, crypto, AI, NFTs, all that. So I just self-taught myself for the first year and then built a nice portfolio in crypto and then started educating others with Edward. But basically, we want people to understand that they need to be conscious and they need to just really be aware that this is an opportunity that comes along only once every 150, 200 years. You cannot live 10 lifetimes and have this kind of financial opportunity. So you need to engage and wake up and just open your mind and say, oh my gosh, this is something maybe I should at least learn the basics. Or I understand from Edward and Attila, there's a way to automate your life in crypto and literally make money in your sleep. That's possible. We actually pride ourselves in being cash flow specialists in this space because when I was growing up, Kevin, I'm older than you and I'm older than Edward. My parents always said cash is king. I believe that's out the window. I believe that's been replaced with cash flow is king. So if you have enough cash flow, it's a good month. If there's not enough cash flow, it's a rough month. So we specialize in cash flow strategies that are safe and work for you while you're out doing your thing, whether it's a 1099 job or a W-2 job, and help you make money in your sleep.
Yeah, absolutely. And I know that your platform combines hands-on education with automated training, with an automated training system. So I'm curious, how do you help people take advantage of automation while also giving them the autonomy and the education they need to successfully participate in the market? What are your thoughts there, my
Right.
friends?
Yeah, great question again. Yeah, I was fortunate to meet a former Microsoft programmer in 2012 that was a rock star there at Microsoft, and he lost a lot of money in 2000 in the market crash. So he built a robotic autonomous stock trader, and that turned into and morphed into in 2021 a cryptocurrency version. So here's the problem, Kevin. You know how busy people are. We're willing and able to educate them, but there's so many people that are just, they're taking Johnny to soccer practice, Susie to cheerleading practice. The man and the woman of the house are working 8, 10 hours a day. They sometimes don't have time to sit down and immerse themselves in a new financial space and learn the basics. So we make sure we make them aware that there is an option where they don't have to spend the time self-educating. If they want to, they could just put that robotic autonomous trader to work for themselves. It's very easy. And literally, we say this all the time. It is 100% set it and forget it. What does that mean? That means once your trader is connected to your own Kraken or your own Coinbase account, which is your cryptocurrency exchange, there is literally no interaction needed anymore from you. No, you don't even have to look at it. You could go away for a month on vacation, never look at it. It's working for you autonomously in the background. So it's a matter of letting people know that automation and robotics now is a real option and it's been working 25 years. It's not new. It was launched literally in 2001 with the stock trader. And then he, like I said a moment ago, he morphed into the cryptocurrency trader, and it works even better because in crypto there's much more volatility, and that's what you need to be successful and make a lot of money in trading, frankly.
Yeah,
Yep, the world's best kept secret to
Yeah.
show people how they can employ their money.
Yeah,
Right.
absolutely. And Edward, I'm curious if I put the two of you in a room full of 100 new people who wanted to invest or get involved in cryptocurrency, what do you think beginners need to know about successfully investing in cryptocurrency and making sure that it has a sustainable shelf life, my friend? What are your thoughts then?
So from to go from zero to the understanding, when as I'll go back to my comments before about being programmed into a financial system that is literally created and architected to work against you, not for you, right? The matrix, as I lovingly call it, doesn't want you to be wealthy and doesn't want you to be educated. So the reason why we created this as a educational platform is it fits for anybody. In your example, where you've got 100 people plus that really don't know anything, maybe even don't know how to spell crypto or what it even means, is gives us our platform gives us an opportunity and gives the learner the opportunity and the curiosity to understand that we can help them automate the process, but it's really, really important because about the educational piece, and we do that in an accelerated manner. I personally am a visual person, right? Why is YouTube successful? Why is TikTok successful? Because you can watch little bits of information and learn along the way. So what we've done, and we continue to do as this space evolves, is put learning shorts and longs into videos, that is, into place where people can enter. If they know nothing, they can enter at the beginning. We give them the framework and understanding, which is a great way to understand the foundation. And then once you understand the foundation, all of the variables that they can learn in a very short period of time, right? We're not talking about 4 or 6 years of education. We're talking about, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 2 months for people, as Attila talked about. Everybody's busy, but we at least give you an opportunity where we pull back the curtain on stuff that they don't know, and then take them through as fast and in any direction that they want to go in learning. I've mentioned briefly, and we'll talk about this more. The reason why we wrote the book is because with our combined knowledge, it's things that about people's finances that they've never ever been exposed to ever before. And when they open it up, it is literally a big eye opener to go, wow. If I had this when I was growing up, I call it the cheat code of the new financial digital money revolution. It will literally, no matter where you are in the process, at 0 or at 100, you are well positioned to take advantage of all the information. And then we do master classes that are free. We leave it open to questions and answers. We help people understand the process, and we take them through to what we believe, if they follow, they will prosper. To what level? It's not for us to predict. There's no guarantees, but it's much easier to reach your destination if you have a GPS versus a blindfold in the dark.
Kevin, do you mind if I add on a little bit to that answer?
No, please go ahead.
Okay, so if I was in a room of 100 newbies and they were interested in this digital money revolution or crypto or blockchain, I would say 3 words. You know what those 3 words are?
What are the 3 words, my friend?
Don't miss this.
Right.
Don't miss this. Now, let me explain why real quick.
Yeah.
If 5 years ago, this cell phone, if you could see it, came along and it disrupted an entire industry called the home telephone and the payphone. It went away. Number 2, I used to go and Edward used to go to a store called Blockbuster. There was 5,000 Blockbuster stores. Now there's 0. Why? Because a small little company called Netflix came along with streaming video, and it was so disruptive that 5,000 stores went out of business. Last but not least, when I was growing up, I don't know about you, Kevin, when I was growing up, my parents said, never, never, ever get in a car with a stranger. And 15, 20 years ago, everybody starts hopping in a car with a stranger. It's called Uber and it's called Lyft, right? So it disrupted, this cell phone again disrupted an entire taxi industry. Now, the last thing I'll say is that this digital money revolution with blockchain, crypto, real world assets, tokenization, AI, it's the absolute biggest disruption in the history of mankind, probably since the advent of electricity. Why do I say that, Kevin? Because think about what it is disrupting. It's disrupting the entire global financial system. It's disrupting money. And there is no bigger disruption than when you disrupt money.
That's right.
Yeah, absolutely. And to your point, Attila, I'm curious to ask you about, AI and automation has made the financial industry as a whole more accessible to more people. So I'm curious, how do you think everyday people can learn to adapt to the changing world of finance, and how you think the world of finance is better because of the changing ways that we're asking modern society to adapt to changes in finance? What are your thoughts
Sure.
there?
Yeah, sure. I'll make a few comments and maybe Edward can add on top of it. But basically, because of blockchain, because of real world assets, because of fractionalization that comes about with blockchain and tokenization, the banks are limited. The banks are limited to 5 days a week to business hours. Also, banks cannot send money cross-border in micro amounts, like one thousandth of a dollar. However, a stable coin can send one thousandth of a dollar. A stable coin never sleeps. A stable coin works 24/7. It's accessible for transactions globally 24/7. It never takes a day off. The banks take the weekends and holidays off. So the mass adoption of stablecoins that came about with the Genius Act last year has opened a whole Pandora's box in a good way for the world to be able to do financial transactions much faster, much cheaper, much safer, and with no time limitations and fractionally, whereas before that was not available. So the entire world is now, as we speak, the tracks or the rails of the financial world are changing for the better because of this technology. Again, it's so disruptive. Now, the average person, that being said, the average person that does not pay attention to what's going on in this space will simply benefit by their financial lives becoming better because everything's going to be cheaper, much less fees being charged for transactions. It'll be much faster. Right now, if you want to send a bank wire to the other side of the world, it's 2 to 3 days. It's extremely expensive for the sender and the receiver, and the banks have to put $1 of every cross-border payment settled in a separate reserve account. It's called Nostro Vostro. You could Google it. It's a Latin term. That's trillions of dollars just sitting there doing nothing. With blockchain and with crypto and this technology, they could send that same wire in 2 seconds, not 2 to 3 days. And guess what? That Nostro Vostro reserve account for the banks, not needed anymore. It could go away. It changes everything, Kevin. Totally. I don't know if you want to add to that, Edward.
Well, I'm glad you're not excited about this. This is something. Is it, Kevin? You see our passion in this. Is that these things that we're sharing with you are the greatest secrets that they don't want you to know, right? And I'll add to the whole digital movement of money makes it extraordinarily secure.
Yes.
And what I believe is the most important thing people will take away from when they understand how it works is you control it, not the banks. You control your anonymity, your security, your financial awareness, right? The whole, if you look into, and people are not going to like this comment, but the reason why you have a financial advisor, most financial advisors sell packaged securities or goods that may or may not be in the best interest of the client. But why do they do it? To earn commissions. It is not the case where it is the case where the whole smoke and mirrors that the traditional finance system has taught people over your generation, your parents' generation, and their parents' generation is to go with the flow. Because you're not the advisor, there's somebody smarter about your money than you are. And the fact of the matter is that there is, because it's a rigged game. Digital finance gives you that autonomy, gives you the ability, but it doesn't give you the awareness immediately of what to do with it, right? All of a sudden somebody says, okay, here's the wheel. And you're like, whoa, I've never driven before. Go back to the reason why we created financial intelligence, right? Once you know, then how do you navigate the system? So right. Digital finance, it's not a matter of if it's coming. It's not a matter of, is it going to work? It's a matter of, it is here already. It is here already. And those people that don't know how it works are going to lose. You've heard the bantering for years about how the middle class is shrinking and you're either poorer or richer, right? Mm-hmm. That's by design. Mm-hmm. Don't continue to fall in that trap. I'll go back and I'll end my comment to this question with what Attila started with. 3 words. Don't miss this.
Yeah, my next question has to do with leadership and your approach to leadership, because I know that both of you have led teams of executives or former employees. So I'm curious, how does your leadership style affect your passion for wanting people to take more control and autonomy of their financial futures? What are your thoughts there?
So I'll start with this. I came up in a family of service. My father served 34 years in the Air Force. Unfortunately, both my parents have been long gone. But my entire family worked at some time or another in the service of others. Right. That's where I get that passion. From a leadership perspective, to be a good leader, you have to be a good follower. You have to surround yourselves with people that have achieved success, that had the GPS before you, learning from them and understanding that it takes more than just you. If you go out and you try and complete a task that is everything I worked on was either top secret or it was very complex or both. Picking a team and having people surround you with, or surrounding yourself with the people that have a similar vision, a similar fashion to want to learn and be a leader. My entire career was focused on, how do I bring people up to replace me? Right? How do I help them through the ascension path to their success, to whatever level that they wanted? So when I took the approach of, I want to serve you, and for me to do that, I need to first understand what your goals are, and then if you're willing, then I have to go back to the military adaptation of, you must have structure, process, and system to be able to follow a roadmap, right? If you don't have a plan, then you do have a plan, but it's to fail. So I've always had the approach of lifting people up around me and giving them the opportunity that they want, versus what I've talked about, most of this interview, which is the suppression and holding people back and not giving them full disclosure that does not give them success, whether it's career, finance, family, relationships. So that's a very long answer, but it's surrounding yourself with people that have the passion to succeed, and then you grab them by the hand and lift them up. I always call it a hand up, not a handout.
And Attila, what are your thoughts on leadership, organizational leadership, and how it impacts the work you do today, my friend?
But anyway, another great question, and I've been fortunate to have trained and mentored thousands of people over my lifetime. And I take that seriously because my first responsibility to others is share with them the wisdom that's been bestowed upon me for them to either prosper or just lead a better life or just to ask better questions in their environment or whatever it is. Now, I've been blessed with so many opportunities in my life. Part of that leadership is also making sure you identify people that resonate with that same opportunity. If you see them as somebody that's a go-getter and they want to, maybe they're a builder or maybe they want to expand their horizons, and I could share an opportunity with them that blesses their life and their family's life, I always share. There's only two possible responses. Yes, I'm interested, or no, I'm not interested. So I don't care where the chips fall, but I do care about at least making opportunities always available to masses of people that I interact with and that I enjoy working with.
Yeah, great
Yeah,
point.
absolutely. And gentlemen, as you know, this is an ongoing debate, around the proof of work versus the proof of stake. And I'm curious to get your thoughts on how do you compare economic, security and the attacks on risk of the system. So how do you compare economic, security versus the risk that we confront today in the financial system? What are your thoughts there, my friends?
Sure. Well, proof of work started with Bitcoin 16 plus years ago, and they got it down to a science now. They've tried, they've never been able to hack Bitcoin. The bigger projects out there that are very well known are proof of stake, like Ethereum. Everybody's heard of Ethereum, proof of stake. Um, but here's the analogy I like to use. They're both safe and secure, and they both work well. They're both going to get you to the same destination. Let's go back to the Uber and the Lyft example. Let's say you need a rideshare experience one night going home. Am I gonna hop into a Lyft or am I gonna hop into an Uber? They're both going to take you home. Both drivers have been vetted, maybe in a little bit different way, but the main company has vetted them, so they're clean. They're clean. The rider has been vetted, so they're both effective. They're going to get you to the final destination. It's just a little bit different technologies as far as how you get to the end result. But proof of stake and proof of work now are proven many, many, many years and they just plain out work. They rock. They got it down to science. So when you have companies, massive companies like BlackRock, Kevin, BlackRock manages the money for 12 million or 12 billion people. I forgot, but it's a lot of people. I think it's billion. Okay. And that's a big responsibility. You better be sure that when you're interacting and you're coming out with an ETF, like they did January 10th, 2005, they launched the first Bitcoin ETF. Well, if they were
2025, right?
2025, if they weren't confident in proof of work, they would have never launched that. Uh, I think it's Bill Lee. Okay, he's the largest holder of Ethereum out there. If he wasn't confident in proof of stake, there's no way he would have created and invested that much money. There are several ETFs now around Ethereum, which is proof of stake. So it works, it's proven, and they're equally as good. They just work differently.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah. My only add-on would be would be that one. We're talking about the Bitcoin and beyond story.
Yeah.
It was a matter of when Bitcoin was issued, everybody was skeptical. Would it work? What is this thing? And then proof of stake is the validator, right? So symbiotically, they work together. They have the biggies, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, all of the folks that are out there that pave the way, set a process. I talked about process and system. Set a process and system, and digital protocol that is a roadmap for other people to follow. So This is, then when you're talking about proof of work and proof of stake, you're talking with particularly people that in the digital world or don't know anything about the digital world. That's way over their head. But actually, it was a great question that you asked us, because it's actually addressed in the book. All of those little, how does it work? And why does it work? And the proof of, right, people that don't know anything is want to know proof of work, and then they want it validated with proof of stake. So I never thought about it until I just processed that's actually the story, the bookends that we put together in the books to help people understand what it is.
Yeah, I'm going to ask you about the book in just a second, but I wanted to combine my next two questions because they're interconnected, and I wanted your thoughts on this. According to you gentlemen, roughly 39% of crypto holders report using crypto to purchase goods and services, with 96% doing so at least once a year. And I also wanted your thoughts on this Charles Schwab poll. Charles Schwab did a poll that found that 41% of Americans view cryptocurrency as a solid investment, with 65% of crypto holders planning to increase their allocations before the end of the year. So what do you think about these findings, gentlemen? I wanted to tell you about the popularity and the ascent of cryptocurrency. What are your thoughts there, my friends?
Sure. I'll take that one, Edward. So on the first part of your question, I have a little bit different take on this, Kevin. I believe that if it's a stable coin and you want to get your resources out of the banks and you're not really that keen on just doing your business or paying your bills with US dollars or fiat money, and you want to pay for most of what you need to pay for with a stable coin, there's plenty of options, and that's a great idea. What I don't think is a great idea is to take assets that are going to increase in value and use that to make payments or buy coffee or buy dinner. For example, there's a great cryptocurrency out there right now called Venice Coin, Triple V. Okay, I think that coin's going to really shoot up here soon. It's been going up nice and steady. Why would I want to ever take something like that and spend it? That's not a good idea. But to spend a stable coin that is pegged 1-to-1 with the US dollar, that's a terrific idea. As far as the second part of the question, Charles Schwab, and the percentages of retail people paying attention to crypto, and more it's cognizant in the brains of people. Right now, believe it or not, the sentiment has pulled back a little bit. Where retail, people like you and I, the three of us, have pulled, I haven't, and Edward hasn't, but a lot of people in retail, investors, have pulled back, and they're a little scared right now because they don't know which way the Clarity Act is going to go. However, the big, major, massive corporations on Wall Street that have been sitting on the sidelines for years are coming in rapidly, one after another. They see the writing on the wall. And because of that news, and anybody that's paying attention, like Edward and I and a lot of our audience, and they see the excitement on Wall Street, and they see a company like Ondo that is a crypto, they are now tokenizing for Wall Street treasuries, bonds, the stock market. It's crazy what's about to happen here. Because of that news, a lot of the retail investors are starting to take notice. And I think the trend is going to reverse and go back up, and retail is again going to go sky high here. So that's kind of the cycle that we have witnessed together, Edward and I, in the last 6 months. It's pretty interesting, actually.
Absolutely. And Edward, I'll leave the second to last question to you to answer first, my friend. I'm curious to ask you about your book, The Digital Money Revolution. You've alluded to certain parts of it during our conversation, but I wanted to give you the floor to tell me anything about the book that you want people to know, my friend.
Excellent. So thank you. Yes, it's a long time coming. We put it together, and I talked about little bits and pieces, and I've said GPS several times. Right? What's the easiest way to get there from where you are is to have a GPS, is to have the breadcrumbs and step by step of how to do it. Essentially, the book can be summarized as it's your step by step of understanding what you don't know that you don't know in the world of a debt based system. People call it fiat. Most people don't know what fiat is, but from the traditional finance that everybody has used for generations, right? And let me give you a little twist. Fiat is a Latin word for it is as it is by authority. What does that mean? That our money has been decoupled from any real asset since 1971 and is backed by nothing other than the confidence of the people in the government that issue it. That is mass hysteria, but that's what you've been taught. That's how you use it. So what you'll find in the book is those little disclosures that talk about all of the things that you've been taught, that if they say it is, well, that it must be, it is, because it must be that, because it is as it is by authority. I told you about my background in exposure to they, or the Matrix. So what we've infused into this is a GPS that people didn't even know that they needed. That people don't understand where they are now and how they've been manipulated and taken care of. Now, I'm not anti-government. I served for 3 decades. I'm just telling you, came out the back. And when I'm looking at my own personal finances and that of my wife and my 3 boys, I know enough and was exposed enough to go, wait, hold on a second, something's not adding up here. So when then actually the brainstorming of Attila and I to actually put this incredible asset in people's hands so that they have the roadmap and the step by step of how to prosper in the new digital money revolution, hence the name of the book. There are so many things, even when you walk out of the door of the debt-based system, the made-up system, and into an asset-based system, as people begin to learn step by step by step, because if you don't know and you don't have a GPS, it's completely overwhelming, and you're certainly going to run into a tree or a telephone pole without it. That's why we believe it's so powerful, and it's what Victor Hugo said, it's an idea whose time has come. I believe, I've not seen it out in the real world, out in the wild, as we say, this is a story that needs to be told, because 95% of the people walking this planet have no idea what crypto is, what blockchain is, what the new world of digital finance is, and if they don't, they'll be lost, and we don't want them. My only angst, I share it with everybody, is how do we get to more people faster so that at least they have a choice? Yeah, absolutely. So that's really what the book is about. But it is a starting point. Then our progression from there is, if people, we're going to be having master classes on each chapter so that people can understand how to implement it. Right? Everybody, whenever a system changes, everybody's panicked and has questions. So we're here. We're your resource in continuum to be able to answer those resources. But we are also in the dinosaur age of this decentralized finance and the new digital money revolution. The evolution of this will continue for decades. We plan to be here to be your guide.
And one last comment on that, Kevin, is what we really love. What we love about the book is that we've implemented actionable steps for people to take. It's not just informational and it's not boring. People can actually take action. We have a lot of resources there that we explain. If you need this, here's the link. If you need that, here's the way to automate your financial life. There's a lot of hands-on actionable steps people can take. And that's pretty rare in a book sometimes.
Yeah, great point. And we call it actionable intelligence.
Yeah, absolutely. And gentlemen, very quickly, finally, my last question is about legacy, gentlemen, and how you want your personal and professional legacies to be defined. What are your thoughts there?
You know, Kevin, that's such an interesting question. I would like our legacy to be basically people see us as real. I've been around the block for many years, and I've run into so many people that, two minutes into the dialogue, I could tell this person is not speaking from the heart. I just want people to understand we're like them. We're real. I've had, and Edward, both of us have had many, many, many months in our lives when there was way too much month left at the end of the money. And that's
Right.
not fun. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So I would like, I don't know about Edward, but I would like us to, I think I speak for Edward rather, be known as helpful. We're real. We give actionable intelligence for people to better their lives personally and financially. And we are educators, number one, and providers of resources, number two. And we're here at the right time for the people that are ready to engage. We can't
Mhm.
work with people that are closed-minded because you've heard the saying, Kevin, your mind is like a parachute. It
Mm-hmm.
only works when it's open. So as long as somebody has an open mind and they're willing to learn, we're willing to give it our all to bless them with our intelligence, our knowledge, and they could go forth and multiply their lives financially in a very abundant way.
And Edward, what about you? What about like a legacy for you, my friend?
So spiritually, I shared a little bit before is that, and maybe it was before we started recording, but spiritually, I told you I have a great wife and beautiful wife and three boys, and our household can be summarized by a good man leaves a legacy for his children's children.
Mm-hmm.
It starts here, right? People say, "Well, why do you love money so much?" I don't love money. I love the people. So why not help them grow their financial situation into success and give them the opportunity to prosper and make as much money as they possibly can in order to serve the people, right? People ask me, how long do you want to live? Well, I just, the answer generally is, well, as long as I can live healthy. No, my answer is simple. As long as possible. How healthy do you want to be? As healthy as possible. How much money do you want to make? As much as possible. All for the service of others, not for the accumulation of wealth that is simply put there, right? If it's not put into action, as I said before, if you're not giving somebody a hand up, then you're giving a hand out, and that's not, again, biblically, that's giving somebody a fish versus teaching them how to fish.
Mm-hmm.
I want to teach, starting with my children and my family, to teach them how to fish and how to spread that knowledge, which is what my entire philosophy is for life.
Absolutely. And gentlemen, finally tell me if people want to get connected with the company and the book or yourself personally, what's the best way they can do that?
So, thank you for that opportunity. I'm going to give you two web addresses. One is the long, which is financial intelligence, the number four, the letter U, just like the logo, that way. Or if you are in a hurry and you're on a cell phone, F as in Frank, I as in Indigo, the number four, U as in unicorn, .ai is how you get to us. And then once you actually get to our page, there's a tab at the top that says book. That will get you right now pre-release, and we're looking at about 10 days before it goes live. Is we're publishing the ebook on Amazon, and if you're on this list, so go to financialintelligenceforyou.com, click on the book tab. You can sign up for the VIP list. That will get you first message. As soon as the ebook is available on Amazon, you will get a link to it. And for the first week, and for your audience, it's going to be 99 cents. 99 cents for a roadmap to your financial future. I don't think you can beat that.
Well, gentlemen, financial literacy is something that I think we all need a better education on, and I applaud your efforts to making sure that we create a more financially savvy society. This conversation was great about financial literacy, intelligence, and the rise of cryptocurrency. And I want to thank both of you for engaging in conversation with me this morning. It's most appreciated.
Thank you, Kevin.
Indeed, we absolutely love the opportunity. Thank you so much for the information to share. As I said at the beginning, we love your work, love your show, love the diversity of conversation, right? I love the name. Every time I think about it, let's have this conversation. You have allowed us a window into the world to be able to share this information with everybody, and we're absolutely grateful.
Yeah, much appreciated, Kevin.